This video is brought to you by Ravenscraft Realty of Northeast Missouri. Just got out of my last class ever, last test ever. Don't know how to feel about it. Now I'm driving back home from school for the very last time as a student. And honestly, feels like I'm leaving a part of me behind. This is a pretty odd feeling. I just don't know how to describe it. There's a rolling shot of Jaden. This is the final day of harvest for 2023, but I'm not shelling corn. I am helping Rob and doing other stuff. The 20-foot batwing had some problems. We broke another hitch on it, so we had to get that taken off and fixed up. And I just got that put back together, went in, ate a bite of lunch. And then Rob called me and said, hey, bring the truck and trailer down and we'll get the trench removed. Rob's been laying a tile to close up a ditch in one of these fields down here on the bottom. Rob is way over there, over in here somewhere. We got the trench removed up to Glenn's place. Now I'm gonna give this new vertical tillage tool thing a try. That little black box that says agricultural diesel solutions makes this whole rig just a little bit better. Hey guys, I have an idea. How about we cut down a bunch of stuff on our side of the property and then put some of it on the neighbor's side? Because that's really classy. That's so highly classy. Like, why? What's the point of this? I don't get it. It's a little bit after 9 o'clock. I am finishing up some of the vertical tillage work, and it's presently trying to rain. We're out here on 168, and I don't think it's raining at home, but I'm not sure. And I drove the 92 Dodge out here tonight. Just gonna swing a little bit wide around it. I don't want to hit that truck. That is my baby. Thus far, I've been pretty impressed with this John Deere 2660 vertical tillage tool. I have to fight the temptation to not call it a disc because, legally speaking, it's a disc. It's got gangs and arbor bolts and concave blades, so if it quacks like a duck, well, you know the rest. Well, we got this field done. I say that's a good stopping point for tonight. And we'll see what the weather brings for tomorrow. And still trying to kind of rain on me. Oh yeah, it should also be noted that I decided to hook up the 7020 to the disc and work down some of my own corn stalks. So that's new. This is just kind of for fun. It's like 11 o'clock. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I am anyways. It'll be okay. Well, I'm glad that I'm done with this field because conditions are starting to deteriorate. Old school Goldinger Farms signing off. Okay, so the 4020 turbo project is upon us, and also some other things, but mainly the turbo. So what makes the M&W pan unique, and yes, I did buy one, or acquire one, I'll say. What makes it unique is that A, it's a larger capacity. So the stock oil pan on a 4020 stops like right here and then goes to this level. This one adds more oil capacity, and it also has these columns here in the pan to draw the heat from the oil out and then vent it through the ribs that are on the exterior of the pan. And I've had this pan off for a little while. It's now on another tractor. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I will cover that eventually. I didn't want to let this project go too far to where I couldn't explain how the M&W components were different than the stock John Deere things, other than, of course, it being a turbo. Today's adventure takes us across the river in the first gen to Quincy, Illinois. . 'Cause 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 Uh-oh, it's 45 degrees. Is the 70-20 gonna start? I think yes. Yep. Cold-blooded 404. This tractor is so much fun. Okay, the 730 is running and charging, but now this is happening. Yeah, those are sparks. That's not good. I've been working most of the day here on the 730. I got a new heavy-duty 24-volt positive ground alternator because it does make a difference regardless of what the CarQuest guy told me. So I had to make some stuff. I ended up making this new bracket here, and I also had to rework some of the adjustment stuff up there. And it is charging, so that's cool. But what's not cool is that now the batteries, I don't know, maybe I hooked them up differently, but now the 3-point control lever is part of the circuit because it sparks all the time, you know, because two cylinders are pop, 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 pop. And this is, like, look at that. What even is this? I'm just dumbfounded, honestly. You know, I think that project can wait until another day. It is almost 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna go back home. I'll show you guys what I've been doing in the shop with the 4020, and then I think probably wrap up the video. Ooh, the red button. The disking activities from the other night actually turned out pretty nice. Or something rattling down here. But anyways, the job that it did was comparable to the vertical tillage tool. However, there's certainly a lot more dirt moved, but there's still plenty of trash on top to keep the dirt there. I began the turbocharging process here on the 4020. I have the radiator off, sitting back there. Got the fan shroud, the 7-blade fan. I even got the exhaust manifold off without much incident. Didn't even break any bolts. However, I did break one bolt, and it's not going to be a very fun one to get back out. So I got the pan on, which went okay until that bolt right there broke. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So I think we're going to have to drop the pan and attempt to weld the nut to that bolt and hope for the best. I'm also going to do the hydraulic pump up front while I have this tractor completely torn apart. I was torquing the oil pan bolts, and this was one of the longer ones towards the back, and I was sitting there, click, 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 and it went soft, and I just thought, ah, gotta be kidding. Well, this adventure involves the 7020 disc and a really, really, really weedy, probably a cornfield. We're going to town to the cemetery. My grandpa helps manage the place, and they decided to convert the crop ground to a hayfield. So I've been tasked with disking it. I figure it should be a fun little afternoon activity. If we get done with that in time, we'll go work some more ground. Maybe not with the 7020, but we'll go work some more ground. Call this tractor electric, the way it's plugged in. I'm just kidding, just a block heater. And with these cold-blooded 404s, every little bit helps. And we are off. I fueled up, cleaned up my windows, put some hydraulic oil in. Oh yeah, we're gonna go do some ignorant tillage. Well, here we are. That drive wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. I hit all the traffic at just the right time. I hope I don't wake up the neighbors. Well, this is working down beautifully. As you can see, there's just a lot of weeds here, and got to get a disc down so that in the spring it can be planted to grass. Man, that's a good looking rig. This soil type here is Menfro, really, really good. It's a shame this patch isn't bigger, or I'd probably come and farm it. But breaks down into really nice texture like this. And with a second pass, most of this will be like almost ready to plant. I'll probably run over it with a field cultivator in the spring to really smooth everything out. This piece is going to grass, and they'll just bale it off maybe once a year or a couple times a year, and get some hay bales off it instead of corn and beans. But man, that tractor is just awesome. Well, short of that 50 feet of end row, this one is done. Didn't go too bad, didn't break anything, but we're also not home yet, so I won't speak too soon. I swear it's louder inside of this cab than it is outside of the cab. So tonight we are going to try and switch the polarity on these batteries and then see if our 3-point lever is still doing the sparky spark. It's not supposed to do that, by the way. Okay, any electricians out there, tell me why none of this is even all hooked up, and I still have 12 volts of power to my lights, but when I move my 3-point lever, okay, check this out. This is totally cool. That grease down there is like trying to burn. This is actually totally not cool. Woo! So I think that I've identified the problem. I think that it's not actually grounding properly, and then, you know, losing connection like that is like when you move the 3-point lever, that's causing it to do the sparky thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the ground point to the battery box to actually on the tractor frame, and see if that remedies my little electrical problem. Two cylinders, I have mixed feelings right now. I love the 730, but man, it's just not quite as good as the 4020. Earlier, there was smoke coming out of the wire coming from the alternator and the alternator itself, so I hope I didn't like fry it. But I got it grounded down to the frame of the tractor, and I know it's grounded back there because this light is grounded to the seat. And when I move the 3-point lever, so that light is being grounded through that lever because the seat is not actually grounded to the operator's, like the rest of the tractor. So I need to fix that or just move the ground. So that's probably what I'm probably just going to extend the wire and make sure that it actually grounds. But I'm going to fire this thing up and see if I still have a functioning alternator. I'm guessing I don't. Well, I hope that the alternator people don't watch this, and if I do have to take it back, I hope they take it back. Smells like fire up here, but I hope I didn't melt this thing completely, because that was like a $200 and something alternator. Well, there's no more sparks, and I'm noticing that my lights aren't flickering anymore, so I think that's good. But I'm gonna get a screwdriver and test out the alternator. So the screwdriver test on an alternator is pretty simple. Take a screwdriver and you stick it to like the back of the alternator, which is supposed to be polarized and and be magnetic, and pull the screwdriver into the alternator. So we're gonna check it out and see what it does. I'm scared. Oh yeah, it still works. Oh yeah, I'm the best mechanic ever. Man, I missed this old tractor. She's a good old girl, but sometimes not the greatest temperament. Now that is a pretty darn good note to end on. I might have to find a job for the 730 to do, because it's a fun little tractor to run, but only for like an hour at a time. After that, it gets kind of old. Good night, 7:30 and G. The next project to be completed is probably going to be the 4020 turbo thing. I'm waiting on one part, which is a new exhaust elbow. There's a guy in Iowa that makes them new, that moves the exhaust back like an inch and centers it in the hole, the factory hole, that is. So waiting on that, and I broke an oil pan bolt off in the oil, or in the engine block. So probably going to pull the pan off again, and then, yeah, redo that. But I have all the fan, it's as apart as it needs to be. Need to get the oil lines and make sure everything's good to go. I could probably have that done before the end of the year if I get the exhaust elbow, maybe. And also, on my way back from disking today with the 7020, so started the day off, plenty of power, no problems. But by the end of the day, I was just struggling to pull that disc in the same gear that I started the day, and I had to drop a gear. I went from the high side of third to the low side of third, and on roading at home was not fun because it just black smoke. I don't know what the deal is. I think that it's, and I never got above like 1500 RPM on the road. Just a column of smoke following me. Not sure what the deal is, but I think it's the fuel filter, so I'm going to change that next week. I got things to do this weekend. Change fuel filter. I'll check out the air filter too. Go ahead and tap it out and make sure that it's as clear as it can be before I put it back together. And then I'll disc a little bit more with it. Maybe able to do another 30-something acres of corn stalks with the 7020. So that's fun. We also have to do work corn stalks for real with the 520 and the John Deere vertical tillage tool. But Justin and Jaden can do that this weekend if they want to work this weekend. So I think that sums the video up. And also, graduating from college is weird. Just something's different. I don't know. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and hope you enjoyed it. Stick around. There's always going to be more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.